It's your boy YfgmBlogTv coming straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, in this video, I'm just going to give you my prediction of the East Semifinals: Toronto Raptors versus the Miami Heat. Now, in this series, I think it's going to be about matchups. It's going to be about if the front court can out battle the other team's front court, or if the back court can out battle the other team back court. Well, speaking of that, let's just talk about Kyle Lowry and Goran Dragic. Now, we all know that Kyle Lowry, he didn't shoot the ball well in the series against the Pacers. He just really didn't play well at all. He was inconsistent, and same way with DeRozan. He was inconsistent too. He put up some numbers in Game 7, that helped them win the game. But those two guys, they weren't consistent enough. And if going up against the Miami Heat, you're going to have to try to be consistent because DeRozan, he's going to have his hands full with the veteran, future Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade, a two-time champion, has a lot of experience. He's been in won plenty of playoff games, so he's going to have his hands full, and he will have to play well. He can't shoot the ball bad. Same way with Kyle Lowry. Even though he's going up against Goran Dragic, he is going to have to play well. He can't shoot the ball terrible. It's like in the last series, it seemed like he was playing scared. I don't know. He just act different in the postseason. I don't know what it is, but luckily they were able to win their first playoff series since 2002 when Vince Carter was with the Toronto Raptors. And we all know, the Miami Heat, they had a tough battle with the Charlotte Hornets, which led to a Game 7 victory. So both teams I expect to play a lot better, and especially I expect, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan to probably hopefully play a lot better. I don't expect, Kyle Lowry to shoot 32% from the field, and I don't expect DeMar DeRozan to shoot as bad, but you just don't know at the end of the day. Now, Kyle Lowry versus Goran Dragic, the 4 games they played in the season, Kyle Lowry, he didn't play well at all. He struggled offensively. He only averaged like 6 points. I think 34% from the field, what 5 assists and like 2 turnovers. With Goran Dragic, on the other hand, he averaged 11 points, 39% from the field, 2 turnovers, and 6 assists. So he didn't play as great, but Goran Dragic is a guard that he keeps coming at you. He keeps attacking you. He loves to drive. So Kyle Lowry defensively will have to worry about that. Plus, try to play great offensively. In the same way with Goran Dragic, Kyle Lowry, he's a guy that can get to the basket, use his body. So it's not going to be easy for Goran Dragic. So both of those guys will have to play well. It might come down to how the guard play, plays out. Now, moving on, I just want to talk about, the front court dominance, Miami front court dominance. In the last series, they pretty much dominated. Hassan Whiteside, Luol Deng, Joe Johnson, they dominated the Hornets. And now, even though they dominated the Hornets, I don't know if they're going to be able to. It's going to be tougher against this Toronto Raptors front court. DeMar Carroll, Patrick Peterson, Jonas Valanciunas, and even Bismack, who's coming off the bench. Those guys are experienced, bigger. They can bring some of the Miami Heat guys out to the three. Excuse me, because we know DeMar Carroll, he likes to shoot the 3. Patrick Peterson, he likes to shoot the 3. Jonas, he likes to shoot the 3. So the bigs, Patterson and Jonas, they can bring the Miami Heat players out that can allow Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan to penetrate more. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Miami face up against this front court, and also just see how the Raptors face up against the Miami Heat big front court, especially with Hassan Whiteside, who's a blocking machine, rebounder. It's just crazy. So they might not win the matchup, the Miami Heat, the backcourt, but you know, it just depends on how Lowry and DeRozan play. But they can definitely win the front court battle. They have to pretty much win the front court battle every chance they get in this series. And it would be nice if Chris Bosh played. I know he's trying to pressure the Miami Heat organization to let him play. So if he plays, hey man, it's gonna be very, very interesting. Even though he might be a little bit rusty, but it's gonna be very, very interesting. Now, let's talk about the shooting slumps of the Toronto Raptors. Now, in the last series, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, they just shot the ball bad. They was inconsistent, and that's just not going to cut it against this Miami Heat team. You have guys who are actually the Heat are actually deeper than the Pacers, and the Toronto Raptors, they probably won't be able to get by with Norman Powell and Patrick Peterson. On the other hand, Miami doesn't have doesn't have defenders that the Pacers have, especially to start the game. Justice Winslow, which is a good defender, Josh Richardson, he's a good defender also. The Heat dynamic defensive duo, where they're going to see a lot of minutes, I would think, going up against this Toronto Raptors team, especially going up against Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. So those guys are going to play some key minutes on those two guys, just to use their size, their length, Plus, it's just, I think it's a mental thing with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, especially Kyle, because like I said before, these guys, they can't have this shooting slump if they want to win this series. They just can't against this Miami team. If they have a shooting slump every game, they're not even going to have a chance to win this series. Because at the end of the day, you have some experience and veterans on that Miami Heat team. You have a guy like Dwayne Wade who won championships. So it's just going to be interesting if not the Pacers, Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, are they going to stay in the shooting slump, or are they going to get out of it? Hopefully they get out of it. But let's get down to my prediction. My prediction, it's hard to pick in this series, to be honest with you guys, because you don't know if you're going to get a good Kyle Lowry, or if you're going to get a good DeMar DeRozan, or a bad Kyle Lowry, or a good Kyle Lowry, or a bad DeMar DeRozan. Like, you just don't know which version is going to show up in this series. But I believe that they won't play as bad as they did against the Pacers, but I just don't know, man. I just feel like, I believe this will be a 7-game series. I honestly believe that it was going to be a 7-game series. The Heat, they have veteran experience. They have Dwayne Wade, who didn't play bad in the last series at all. He's been playing with a new breath of energy and everything this season. And they have guys who've been in this position before. So, the Raptors, they're a young team. They don't really have too much experience, but they are really good at home. And usually, if it do go 7 games, the home team usually wins. But I just can't trust the Toronto Raptors, and I'm going to go with Miami Heat in 7 games. So that's my prediction. I think the Miami Heat will win this series in 7 games. Maybe 6, but I just feel like it might go 7 games. So anyway, guys, you tell me who you think will win, the Miami Heat or the Toronto Raptors. Comment, subscribe, favorite, like, share. Check out my previous videos. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media sites. I'm out, y'all. Deuces.